Hello, hi, good evening, ma'am.
Hi Radhika, how are you?
I'm doing good, ma'am. How are you?
Good too.
Okay, so shall we start or we should wait for some people to join?
As you wish.
Okay, and we'll just wait for 2 minutes, and I would like you to, so you can introduce yourself to this bit of audience, like what's your specialty, qualifications, and what you do.
Yeah. Hi everyone. Good evening on a pleasant evening. Yeah, Bangalore it's very cold. So and it's rainy too, right? So basically, I'm from Andhra and settled over in Bangalore. Basically, I'm a BTech graduate, but passion towards health and wellness and fitness drove me towards doing this nutrition course and diploma and PG post graduation in nutrition and dietetics. And also, I have interest over in yoga so that to heal our body or anything towards wellness and all, so that it can be a holistic approach. So that drove me, and from past 10 years I'm helping out people in getting their lifestyle concerns or disorders to get in place and lead to a healthy lifestyle.
Thank you, ma'am. Very lovely. We should always follow our passions, and you are doing so. Okay, so it's my project named She Wake, and which I started like took initiative to aware people about mainly about PCOS and adopting healthy lifestyle. And what we did was we have a WhatsApp group, and I already circulated the Google form. So I have few questions which I'll be asking you so that you can clear that out. Okay, so shall we start?
Sure. Yeah,
Okay.
sure, Radhika.
The first question is like, what according to you should be are like the nutrients which on a daily basis an ideal diet for a day?
Your voice is breaking, Radhika.
Now am I audible?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so the question which I asked was, what according to you should be an ideal like diet on a daily basis? The nutrients which we should involve in a daily basis in our like eating habits and all.
So basically, there is no restricted diet or anything. You can have everything. What is your culinary demands? Like South Indian breakfast, like idli, dosa, upma, and anything related to poha or dalia or anything as such. So make sure that you're including all the macros and micros in every meal. For example, if you're going for breakfast, so add some amount of sprouts to your breakfast so that you have a protein content to your breakfast, right? So that you're not carb. Most of the Indians are carbohydrate rich diets, right? Be it the South Indian or North Indian. South Indian, we tend to have idli, dosa, and also most of the times puri, vada, and also in the North Indians, most of them have as parathas, puris, and all this kind of stuff. Most of them poha also. Maharashtrians have poha and all. So that's what I meant to is that there is nothing wrong to having all this daily breakfast, but balance with protein and also fiber rich food. So fiber rich food in the sense if you have sprouts, you get to have fiber and also proteins, right? And also if you're when you're having poha, make it as more variety of vegetables into it so that you get good amount of uh, fiber alongside with the carbohydrates, right? And also the same way have lunch. Lunch, you my main motto is to include every meal the macros and micros, the protein, carbohydrates, and fats, the other minerals, trace minerals, or the micro minerals like iron, calcium, and everything. And also my main mantra: early dinner. Early dinner is the key for any factors of healthy lifestyle for be it be bloating, be it be acidity, or anything related to tummy fat reduction, or anything related to sugar also.
Okay, so can you prescribe any particular time at what time we should have at dinner?
I prefer 1 hour post sunset. If you cannot do it, maximum 8 o'clock is the deadline.
Okay, thank you. And as we know, like many of the people, so what they should include in their diet.
Sorry, I've not got your question. Your voice is breaking.
I'll repeat, like as we know, like due to our this kind of lifestyle, many people suffer from blood pressure, high or low, cholesterol, thyroid, diabetes. So what they should adopt in their lifestyle so they can cure that or keep that in limit, like that kind of thing.
So basically, these all lifestyle concerns are because of our lifestyle habits, whatever maybe because of the job purpose or family needs or anything as such, we tend to keep ourselves healthy aside, right? For example, you need to have a healthy routine of lifestyle, like having exercise uh, 5 days a week, minimum 30 to 45 minutes according to your body type. It's not that every exercise suits your body, right? So that you need to get trained with your fitness trainer or anyone else, right? And second thing is that if you're looking for BP or thyroid or cholesterol, high cholesterol levels and all, make sure that you are not have consuming too much of oil in the sense refined oils, right? And also it is recommended that you need to have only 3 tablespoon per um, person, like a 3 ml, I mean to say 3 ml so that per person in a day. So that you are not consuming too overloaded with your oils and fats, which in turn will get what is that this cholesterol issues or even BP or thyroid or anything, BP, blood pressure, because of the more intake of the salt consumption, right? That also the moderation is the key. Any food factor, whatever you're having it, see to that your moderation is the key, and no need to cut down drastically the food intake habits, whatever you're having it, but limiting this processed foods or avoiding these processed foods like bread, sweets, sugar intake, refined sugars, refined flours, are the basic thing to be avoided, even if you have the health style concerns or not, right?
Okay.
To be healthy all throughout the life.
Yeah, I read one quote. It was written like, if you eat less salt and you will die early in your life. Is that true? But if someone is actually suffering from hypothyroidism, doctors prescribe that you should limit your like in consumption of salt. So what exactly we should do?
See, salt consumption is not wrong. That's what I'm saying, right? Moderation, not overdoing of the salt. For example, if you take any packaged snacks or instant snacks, whichever available in the market, the sodium present in that per serving is too high for a person to get in a day-to-day life.
Okay.
Uh, so those factors, if you cut down, the daily consumption of salt is enough.
Okay. And one person actually asked in the chat box, can you tell us something, diet which can enhance hair growth?
Actually, I think whoever has asked the question, I think you have read in your science, your hair is made up of protein. The hair
Yep.
follicle is made up of protein during your childhood days, in your school days, right? The see to it that you get according to your body weight, 1 kg body weight, you need to get 1 gram of protein in your daily diet. For example, if you are 60 kgs, you need to have 60 grams of protein every single day. That is like one egg white contains around 4 to 6 grams of protein. If you're a non-vegetarian, and make sure that you're not overdoing on eggs also, and getting the protein in all the food, whatever the food plates you're having it, so that you are covering everything. And second thing is that check your vitamin B complex, right? Even biotin is very much important for for your hair. So B6, the whatever I'm saying, and also get your test of your vitamin D. Most of them get suffer from this vitamin D, vitamin B12, if you are a vegetarian. So that take the doctor recommendation or the nutritionist recommendation to get onto the supplements if you are too low on your vitamin D and vitamin B12. That also causes the hair fall.
Okay. And one more person asked, like, what type of exercises we should do, especially for PCOD.
So PCOD, I recommend the exercises with strength training. You can do with your body weight exercises, and also yoga helps a lot. Like some of the exercises are there if you are looking particularly for PCOD, like anything related when you're focusing on your core, right? That Naukasan or anything like touching the toes, right? And bending exercises and some of the related to with the core Surya Namaskara. All this will help you out. If you're looking for something particular, you can ping me. I can help you out.
Okay, sure. And other question is like we college students have exams, so we have to wake up late at night. So what like we face the like night cravings and all, what we should eat at that point of time?
So cravings, first of all, one thing I'll cover about craving is that when you have any deficiencies, the cravings comes up, right? Like if you're craving for chocolates, that is because you're having magnesium deficient or not having enough magnesium in your body. Second thing is that if you are craving for sweets, that is because you are craving for this, you're having a deficient with protein, carbon, sulfur, the other trace elements. So make sure that you address your cravings and the deficiencies so that you can eradicate this cravings part, right? And the third thing is that the night, whatever the question you asked for this night students, for students who are wanted to study late night and all, I usually recommend the herbal teas that will help you to make you fresh and give you good concentrate on your studies, and also you can keep good amount of nuts and seeds so that you can feel like munching when you're having free hungry or anything. And makhana is a good option, lotus seeds. If you dry fry it and have sprinkle the spices and all, that's a very good option. And also apple is a good thing to make you awake all throughout the night if you are studying late night.
Okay, so is it
But
prescribed that we can have the fruit at night? Because many people used to say like you shouldn't have fruits at night.
see, rather than going the packaged foods, fruits is absolutely fine. How
Okay.
many fruits you have? Tell me one or two max, right? So, rather than going for instant Maggies and instant cereals and all, fruits are perfectly fine.
Okay. And other question is like even at a workplace or in the college, like what kind of snacks they can carry with them?
Whatever the snacks I covered right now, the nuts and seeds, assorted nuts and seeds, a fistful, or any fruit, or anything related to makhana, the lotus seeds, you can dry fry it and you can take it. And anything with chivda, poha chivda, you can make it at home with good amount of groundnuts, or salted peanuts, you can make it at home. No packaged food is the main thing you need to concentrate on.
Okay. One person asked like how like if we're gonna adopt healthy lifestyle, how to detox our body at first.
See, basically, the detoxing happens on everyday basis. There is nothing particular thing you need to take care. First thing is that for detoxing your body or whatever the food you have had in the late night to avoid this acidity or anything as such, don't start your day with tea or coffee.
Okay.
Overconsumption of tea and coffee during the night or even starting your day with tea or coffee is it affects your gut health. Gut health in a sense with your acidity, bloating issues, gastric issues and everything, right? Second thing is that start your day with 2 glasses of warm water.
Okay.
Most of the people are suffering with this constipation or the bowel movement syndrome, right? They're not getting, not passing the stools at early in the morning as the first thing. So
Yeah.
if you adopt this 2 glasses of warm water every single day, that's like 500 ml of water as soon as your daily rituals or as soon as you wake up after brushing your teeth, that helps a lot for your bowel movements or anything with related to constipation. So, and next you can have any herbal drinks. That, but the herbal drinks also you need to take according to your health. Some people, some diabetic people cannot take some drinks. Some patients cannot take some of the drinks and all. So I'm not discussing those herbal drinks over here. But safe thing is to have is 2 glasses of warm water followed by any herbal drink. But that also on recommendation with your any physical
Mhm.
fitness trainer or nutritionist.
Okay. And one person has like they're suffering from ovarian cyst. So what they should include in their diet and what they should avoid.
Basically, avoid any inflammation food. Inflammation food in the sense high in oils, processed food, bakery items, packaged food, dairy. If at all they are consuming more of hormone-fed milk. There nowadays we are seeing that milk is also poisonous. So make sure that you are getting into organic milk if possible. Otherwise, avoid the dairy or switch to alternative. If you're not able to avoid milk, switch to alternative milks like almond milk, coconut milk, soy milk, or anything as such. So that will actually help, and have good amount of calcium rich foods. Calcium rich foods in the sense you can include till laddu every single day. That till has the sesame has highest source of calcium in your daily diet. Actually 90 to 99% of calcium is there in sesame. And also having protein rich food. Protein is must for repairing the body and also for uterus functioning, right? And having good amount of exercise on a daily basis and being active all throughout the day. That is not that if you complete your exercise for 40 minutes and rest of the day you would be sitting in front of your laptop or the books. It doesn't help you. You need to be active, minimum 10,000 steps in every single day, and doing your work according to your need. You need to go pick your things and all. Mostly prefer go by walk or for a shorter distance of time. I know it is time consuming, but it will help you in longer run.
Okay. And like now like everything is online or it went, so people had more screen time. How they should take care of their eyes.
So basically, yes, even I know I have my kid also having online studies. He's first standard, and my husband is also into the 24 bar 7 is into mobile or towards a laptop. Even me, as a nutritionist, I to take care of the clients' concerns and everything, right? But what we can do is that we can keep a reminders of every half an hour. Just stand and go for a walk inside the house itself. Go for a walk or splash good amount of water to your eyes so that your eyes gets good relaxation. Or you can have a nap of 15-20 minutes. But if you're taking post meal, make sure that you're taking after 45 minutes, so that after your lunch, and keep cucumber slices on your eyes, so that will help you to give good relaxation to your eyes and your eye muscles. And doing some facial yoga and eye exercises also helps for your eye health.
Okay, can you show us some of the exercises?
Yes. So if you see, if now sit in a good comfortable position. So and also you can also do along with me, right? So sit in a comfortable position. Now slowly, don't move your head. Slowly move your eyeballs to your right,
Okay.
then left, again right, again left. So this you can repeat for 5 period of time. Again, you can change the exercise to clockwise and anti-clockwise only of eyelids.
Okay.
Let's start. Okay. Now again, you can do it in the left
Anti-clock.
side, the anti-clockwise. And also by keeping your, if you're able to see my hand, keep your hand straight,
Okay.
right? See to the tip of the thumb. And if you move your hand towards your right, your eyeball also should go along with that. You should not move your head.
Then ma'am.
So that will also actually help your eye muscles exercise.
Okay. And one person asked, do you think nap is good for all during daytime?
Nap, is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. Nap.
Yes, yes, you can have for 10-15 minutes. That's also anytime when your body requires, you can have it.
And what kind of yoga exercises we should include in our daily life?
To start with, if you're new to yoga, at least five sets of 5 to 6 sets of Surya Namaskara every single day, right? That actually is a full body exercise to your body, and slowly you can increase the sets, and you can start doing the breathing exercises as a first thing, like Anolam Vilom, the alternate breathing. You can do this Bhastrika. If you keep your hands tight fist beside your shoulders, and I'll teach you this one also right now, right? So take your hands up. This will actually give you instant energy if you are feeling lazy, or if you are feeling like energy deprived, or you wanted to have a good instant energy to our body in between your studies or in between your uh, office work. This 15-20 sets of Pastrika will help you a lot. And
Yes.
for body toning, yes, and also for your core muscle toning and the belly fat reduction, Naukasana is very good, and this camel pose is very good. That's also very good for your thyroid gland, endocrine gland, the camel pose, and Dhanurasana, the bow pose is very good. And like this, you have some around 5 to 6 exercises you can do for at least 15-20 minutes that actually helps to tone your body.
And the recent news is like Siddharth Shukla died of like heart attack, people say, but many of the news even said like being too fit is also one of the issue. Do you think like it's true or it's not?
See, basically, you never know the facts of what happened with their life. We just see the day before or the day before what they're doing it and what media projects it. You don't
Yeah.
know their lifestyle. You don't know their eating habits. Though they say that they're eating healthy and they're fit enough and all, but yes, you, according to me, what a common life to be happened is that you need to have at least 5 days of fitness, minimum 45 minutes to 1 hour. No need to exceed 1 hour exercises continuously. That actually gives you muscle loss than the fat loss. Even one of the these things is that that will give you an adverse effect. You can do two period of times if you're lacking of time, half an hour in the morning, half an hour in the night. That is enough in the evening, and walking or being active all throughout the day, and having good amount of food like what I mentioned, the macros and micros, including it moderately, avoiding all the packaged food, processed food and all. Even if you want to have it, yes, you can have, but see to that portion size is controlled. Even I have the outside food, but I make sure that I restrict to the portion sizes.
Okay. Even
And
some people.
also,
Please.
yeah, continue, Radhika.
No, no, I was about to ask next question. You can continue, please.
So that's what I'm mentioning, right? You don't need to have a cheat day, but rather you can have a cheat meal.
Okay. And the next question is like some people are allergic to some of the things like milk. I myself like I'm allergic to milk. So what they should do or what they should adopt in their lifestyle or any alternatives and all.
Yes, why there are because if you were having allergic to milk, that is like you're lactose intolerant. So you cannot have milk. You I think I have seen many of the clients also. But milk is not only the one thing you get calcium through it. You can
Yeah.
get that from the other sources also, right? I told you as sesame. Sesame is one of the thing which has good amount of calcium. Second thing is that you can include the alternative for milk is that. Almond milk or soy milk or whatever the coconut milk and everything. Third thing is that you can have tofu. Tofu is not dairy, not from what is that animal
It's
sources.
yeah.
You can have from this soy, right? And so there are many foods apart from milk which you can adopt in your healthy lifestyle where you can get calcium rich. Basically, you take milk because to get calcium mostly, right? So you can adopt through other things also.
Okay. And can you suggest us some tips to maintain the healthy lifestyle? Because we lack sometimes, if there's any function, we go and eat whatever we want to, or it's friends' party. What kind of mindset we should have to adopt the healthy lifestyle?
See, basically, you know, the parties would happen. You cannot avoid some of the functions, family get-togethers, and all. But main thing is that before going there, have good amount of salad at your home so that you will not overeat during your parties, and have good amount of water every single day so that at least 2.5 liters to 3 liters of water so that that also helps to not to overeat, right? And before you get into eating, make sure the portion sizes are less. And I don't tell that not to indulge in your favorite foods, but make sure that you eat different variety of fruits in small quantities or the required quantities. And next day, make sure that you quickly get into your regular lifestyle rather than continuing the same thing for period of time. Because what I've seen is that most of the people uh, tend to adopt a healthy lifestyle and they give a break of parties or functions or family functions get together, and again getting back to the routine will take another 1 month.
Yeah.
So that should not be the case. You need to get back next day itself so that that won't be a much loss to your health.
And what should be the ideal daily routine of a person who is suffering from PCOS or PCOD?
That's what whatever I mentioned right now. Having good, healthy exercise routine, not missing on their exercises, and get their water intake good, and also proper protein, multivitamin, and whatever they're getting through food. Make sure that they're getting and having good amount of green leafy vegetables on a weekly basis, at least 3 to 4 times, and having good iron and calcium rich sources, and not overdoing on processed food, packaged food, and soda drinks and uh, alcohols are limiting to them, and also sugary items like sweets, fried items, not overdoing it. Uh, yeah, pretty much getting into this 5 day week workout and 10,000 steps to maintain a healthy lifestyle.
Okay, and one person asked like it's not recommended we should eat chapati in dinner, like full meal. We should have light dinner kind of things. Do you recommend that thing? Like, do you agree with that?
See, depends on your health. I don't know your health. What is your health? What is your body condition and all? Uh, I don't deny having a chapati or rice at night. You can have it, but Make sure that that's what I'm saying, right? What time you're having it and how many you're having it.
Okay. And anything you want to tell our audience, or do you want to recommend? Because I'm almost done, because most of the questions were similar. Yeah, one more question I have is regarding skin, like skin, how to take care of the skin properly. That's the most like asked question, especially by the females.
See, basically, skin is the outer reflection of what you eat, right? First thing is that see your gut health is proper, you're passing every day, bowel movements are good, and you don't have any constipation or acidity issues. Third thing is that you're not going overdoing on sugary items, bakery items, and processed food, and also you're not exposed to pollution much. Um, Having good amount of vitamin C rich foods, and also properly taking care of your skin by using right amount of products on your skin, and so not getting everything what is marketed, or someone is using it, they are getting results and all. You should use according to your skin health, and yes, pretty much this one, if you take care you will find flawless and glowing skin. And having ABC juice every single day, if you
Oh,
start having it, uh, that is a very good thing, so that you get a good glowing skin. ABC is like apple, beetroot, carrot. Without removing the roughage, the pulp, it will actually give you good glow to your skin.
okay. And one more question was like in Karwa Chauth also, like it just went. People fast for the whole day. Is it recommended? And even some people say that you should fast for once in a week. What are your thoughts on this?
See, basically, whatever you do everyday fasting, at least 12 to 14 hours. Fasting is that's one thing is that you're keeping your body at rest by not having any food, uh, either dry fast or you'll be having only water. Let's take if you're having at 8 o'clock as a dinner, you just complete it and you zip your mouth, and again you'll be having your breakfast at 8 o'clock in the morning. That is like complete 12 hours fast,
Yeah.
right? That actually help your body to heal, repair, whatever the thing you've undergone. That is the reason why I'm saying you early dinner. If you're doing the early dinner like 3 hours before you sleep, that will actually help you to get your body digested before you sleep, and it will help your body to repair the vital organs. If you eat around 10, 10:30, 9:30 or 11, and also that will actually hinder your digestion process, and you'll not have enough time for the body to repair your vital organs. So that is the reason, even if for night studies or night thing, I recommend to wake up early and have your studies. Radhika, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, there was some
Yeah.
network.
ABC, not APB. ABC, apple, beetroot, carrot.
Yeah. So we're almost done with the questions. Do you want to recommend anything to the people according to your experience or according to the daily lifestyle, anything?
So the one thing to summarize whatever I spoke to till now is that have 2 glasses of warm water as soon as you wake up. So that will actually help for your gut health. Second thing is that have 5 day week workout at least 30 to 45 minutes according to your body type, and 10,000 steps in a day. And no need to neglect any of the food groups. Have good amount of uh, fiber rich food, so that will help. At least it is recommended for 25 grams for girls and 30 to 35 grams for boys, to have good amount of good gut health, for fiber rich food. And also, as I said, you need to include good portion of balanced meals like protein, carbohydrates, and fats, so that it will help you to bridge the gap whatever you're not getting. And last and foremost thing is that early dinner is the key. Maximum 8 o'clock, you need to complete your dinners, and after that, you should not have anything in your mouth.
Yes. Thank you so much, ma'am. It was really nice interacting with you, and even I'm coming to Bangalore next month, so hopefully we'll meet there as well.
Definitely, definitely, Radhika. Love to meet you.
Sure, even I would love to. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for your time and all these lovely lessons. We should actually apply, but our lifestyle is kind of that. We just don't. We just eat whatever we can. We just have frozen food, go to market with friends and all. Used to have junk food, and even we love to do that. But definitely, I'll adopt this in my lifestyle for sure.
So basically, nothing to start everything at once. Start with one habit, 1 week or 2 weeks once, so that you'll be including everything. No need to keep your mind stressed. Oh my God, I'm what she's saying on what I'm doing it. So it's totally opposite. So I need to do this. Don't stress out. So start one by one at a time, so that you will get good hand on it.
Sure, sure, ma'am. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
ma'am, for your time and these
Thank
lessons.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Same here.
Bye, guys.
Bye.